So at this point, you're ready to start gluing. You've got a continuous structure like this, and you're going to want to add glue between all of the finger joints. You're going to use thick CA, that's this blue bottle, and this is a medium viscosity cyanoacrylate glue that provides bonding in about 20 seconds. So it's relatively quick, so work quick, but don't work so quick that you end up breaking pieces or gluing something you didn't mean to glue. You can take your time. It's not a hard 20 seconds. It kind of depends on how much you add and how much pressure you apply to the pieces, but you'll definitely get some on your hands. Don't worry about it. Once it cures, you can just peel it off or run under hot water, it'll come off. But as far as putting on all of these pieces, I don't have a video for that because I feel like you guys can competently glue things together if you can put the fuselage together using the video. Basically, where there are connections, the finger joints, you can just kind of pry away the piece, add some glue, and then push it back on. For certain ones like this side wall, you can pop that whole piece off, add glue, and then push it back on. And basically you're keeping the structure all continuous while you're doing this, so you're not remembering to put on a piece or not having to go back and undo something. It's an easier way to glue and get it right. Other considerations, these pieces in here, you can, like how I put it on, you can just pop it off, take those tabs out, make sure all of those get glue, and just make sure that when you're putting it back on that those two bottom holes stay closer to the front where the nose is. And building the nose as a separate piece as well. You can glue all this together and then basically just join the two with glue around here. In the intersections here, add another strip of glue just in that joint, make like a gusset. That'll hold the nose on a little bit better. And around the other box in here, primarily underneath. This was hard for me to get off and glue in here, so you can just add like glue gussets. If you can't, pry it off, get the glue underneath it, and then stick it back down. That's fine. And then same thing on the tail. Keeping the carbon rod in keeps everything straight and aligned, so it should be easy enough. You pop out these bottom two pieces, add glue, and then stick them back in. All right, with that, you should have a glued structure like what I have here. And we're going to use epoxy now, a 6-minute epoxy. It's 2-part, a resin and a hardener. And we'll mix these together, and then we'll add it to the joints where the carbon fiber rod meets those bulkheads. And that provides a stronger connection than what the thick CA could provide. The thick CA is also a more brittle connection. So let's go ahead and get to mixing that. Move this out of the way. Grab an extra sheet of wax paper, and from one of these sticks, go ahead and break off like a 2-inch little mixing stick that you're going to use. You don't need a lot of epoxy, but you need enough, and you have 6 minutes to do it. So you can either do this in 2 parts, do like 1/2 and then do the other half, or you can do it all in one go. I'm going to do it all in one go because I know I can work fast, and I have a little time clock in my head because I've done this so much of when the stuff starts to set. So you're going to want to add in 2 lines equal parts of resin and hardener. I'll actually make another one because I need a little bit more. And if you do it in this way, you'll get them to be even. Just like that. And then you're going to mix it for a minute. And you want to make sure that you're mixing all of it together. Because you can pour 1-to-1, but if you don't mix it 1-to-1, then it won't actually set. all that. And when you think you've mixed it enough, keep mixing. All right, so that's good. So now, go back to the fuselage. I'll try to do this so I can see what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna add on this side. Each side is going to get a nice helping of epoxy. And ideally I get all the way around so that there's a connection between all that. Don't epoxy this face, and don't epoxy this outer face here. Leave those. But on the other ones, do both sides. If you start with a glob on top and don't quite work all the way around, as the epoxy drips down, it will drip around. That way you can work a little bit faster. We're not going to add any epoxy here. We just want to try to get on this inside part. Other side. Back and kind of use that dripped epoxy to smear it back around the underside so it's touching on on all sides. And catch any drips you might be seeing. There's a drip right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So in about maybe 1 more minute, the epoxy is going to start to harden. And you'll see it start to change color a little bit. It'll turn like greenish, and it'll start to get really tacky. Check to make sure that these bulkheads are more or less straight up and down. It's not super critical that they're straight up and down, but and they should be relatively close to it because they're constrained on the top and the bottom. But all right, that's pretty much with epoxy. Make sure you're not dripping in different places. That's all I have to say.